My name is Jung Wing Wan, and I'm a coach. I help leaders to be their best selves, to lead not just in what they do, but also to do it with a sense of meaning and purpose. Because no matter how good you are at what you do, if there's no point, no why, no mission, no purpose, then what's the point? So I've discovered through my working life as in corporate, I was in the pharmaceutical industry for 25 years, would you believe it? And I learned a lot of things along the way. But you know what? It's all about, whatever we learn, it's about what we come across, our experiences, what we learn about ourselves. And I feel so privileged. I'm so thankful for Morella, for you, Ian, for inviting me here today to share this message. And also, would you guess, I have also a book coming out called Personal Mastery. So yeah, absolutely, yes. So hopefully, it's lovely to meet you all. Some of you I've met, and I'm looking forward to this conversation, Ian.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll get on to the book because we're going to be doing an exercise around that on launch date. But firstly, I mean, your background's similar to mine. Most of you know I spent an awful long time in corporate before deciding it wasn't for me anymore. But everyone's story is different. So, Jung, please tell us, what was your journey from corporate to where you are now?
Okay. Shall I maybe even go further back than that first, briefly?
If you want to, yeah.
Okay, so probably some of you identify with this. I grew up, parents come from Hong Kong, so second generation. Growing up in sort of way with a Chinese sort of background, but then also growing up in what was then to me, or to us, quite a foreign country in a way. And also trying to fit in all the time. And not being sure of myself, always wanting to hope that I would be accepted like everyone else. My name was clearly different. I didn't feel that I fitted in any way. But I was always very academic. I loved to study. My parents drummed that into me. I know some of you are nodding here. Just keep on doing exams, do well, and I loved it. I didn't need much encouragement. I just did it. And I got through to doing my studies at university, just did chemistry. It's all about study of change, would you believe? And also did a year in France. I studied chemistry in France at a French university, taking lectures in French on chemistry. That was tough. I also had the opportunity to learn some Japanese when I was in France. Why France? Why learn Japanese when you're in France? Well, because I had the opportunity. It was much more difficult trying to learn the foreign language when in French for me at the time. But thereafter I finished with my PhD, did some research on cancer drugs, absolutely loved it, and I thought I'm going to go into the pharmaceutical industry because I want to make an impact, help to make vaccines and medicines available to help public health globally. I went to pharmaceutical industry, went into that area of helping getting medicines registered, licensed, helping products to get developed for diseases like for cancer, for various infectious diseases, etc. Takes me to travel in all different places. To Nigeria, Kenya, going to ministries of health, Egypt, Jordan, Pakistan, India, Thailand, all sorts of places. Absolutely loved it. But also, I was along the way, I also was very unsure about myself. I learned a lot. I was studying a lot of martial arts. I was training in both Taekwondo, in Tai Chi, and also Xingyi recently, to the extent where I taught it. But I was learning about myself. I was also very unsure. At the same time, learning languages, all sorts of things. I'm going to slow down a bit now. I realized, where's this all going? Right? What am I doing? I was also going to church. I also became the chairman of the church I attend over in Kentish Town. I become an elder, sometimes even leading some of the service. I talked about that before as well with you, Ian. And what it came down to is all these things I was doing. What was it for? Why am I doing this? Why even here? Why am I speaking? It's the understanding of ourselves, of myself. And I think maybe by understanding myself, I can help others to understand themselves, and then we can work better together, we can do better things, do things with purpose and meaning, and help each other out, which I think is the reason why we're here, that many of us are here, to making it count. There you go, hopefully that's some
It is, yeah. And so, it comes to that point where you question a question keeps coming up, and it comes up again and
Yes.
again and again until you answer it. So then you're now on your journey. You're going to be publishing your book shortly on personal mastery.
Yes.
And you coach on personal mastery. But you touched on it in your intro, but tell me what personal mastery is for you. So if someone in the room's thinking potentially I could be coached, what would you be looking to do for them?
It's a very good question, of course. So I define personal mastery as a continuous striving, not to be a master one day, but to always strive for excellence, to improve, to keep doing our best. And not just keep doing our best, but always have the best of intentions to help each other out. And by that process, we help ourselves. So, and there's an aspect of personal mastery for me personally, and is that discipline, that self-awareness, self-knowledge, all that, and continue trying to refine and improve ourselves, and always seeking meaning. As I said, it's about finding purpose, about as well being our best to help each other out. So I think there's that aspect there of personal mastery. You have your own perspectives on what personal mastery is. Notice I didn't actually say I didn't call this book, or what I do, self-leadership. There is an element of self-leadership in it, but you know what? It's very corporate. To me, it's very corporate. It's like go and attend a course on self-leadership, and then you'll become a better self-leader. But there's much more to life and to your work and your business and everything than just leading ourselves. It's about always leading with a sense of purpose, that greater mission, that bigger purpose for all of us. There you go.
Great stuff. Now I'm going to not ask a question because I'm going to give something that indicates for me how mastery is beyond leadership, and it goes beyond business as well. So Jung put a post out on social media quite a while ago now, and it still sticks in my mind because it's such a rare thing. And you probably know which one I'm going to talk about now, don't you? It's around calisthenics. So, you know now, don't you? Calisthenics, obviously, is using your own body weight as exercise. Jung posted an image of him doing what's called the flag.
Yes.
Yeah, the flag. Now, I couldn't even begin to attempt to do that. So I'm saying that just to show you that with that dedication, that view of every day I'm going to work closer towards mastering something, and bringing it back to Global Man and an idea of self, health, relationships, wealth and business. Putting focus on your health is part of personal mastery for you, I'm assuming.
Yes.
So talk us through what it took to get to being able to do the flag.
Okay.
And does everyone know what the flag is?
Okay.
Can you explain what the flag is, please?
Unfortunately, I couldn't demonstrate it right because there's nothing strong enough here to hold it. But basically, it's about, if it was a bar here or whatever, or even a lamppost or something, and holding my body weight.
Yeah.
So my body is horizontal. As you can imagine, it's quite an advanced technique. It's really hard on the core.
Yeah.
But I've developed. The thing is, once you've done it one way, ideally you do it the other way as well, because you want to balance. Yeah, you don't want to be walking around like this, clearly. So it is quite advanced. But I remember my first times I tried to do it, I thought, I'm just going to do this. And I had this whole line coming down here on my torso. I'm not joking. I had maybe this is a tendon I didn't realize existed. It was quite odd. But anyway, it certainly took some time to work on it.
Okay, so it took some time to work on it, but can you explain why that is part of personal mastery to you, or what you do for your health is part of personal mastery for you?
It's about overcoming my own challenges. And I think those challenges are not what other people say. And there were plenty of people said, oh, you can't do that. They see me struggle in the gym. Oh, there's no point in doing that. Or they would even dismiss my own efforts for trying because they think, don't even try. If you ever come across those people who say, don't bother even doing it because you're wasting your time. Basically, what they're trying to say is that they don't want you to do it. That's what the message is. So hopefully we're not supporting. And so it's about overcoming my own challenges and thinking, I want to do this because I want to. Because I want to, in a way, prove to myself, but also learn about what I'm capable of. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing it. Not so much, I can have this photo taken of me doing that, which is obviously nice, but actually it's more about my own journey. So I've been working on things like trying to do handstands and, I know this is quite crazy. This morning like I've done that for the past, I don't know how many months, I've been doing 65 push-ups every morning. The moment I get out of bed, and doing my 65 squats, just doing it. So then I've already done something of exercise for myself at the beginning. So that maybe is an aspect of looking after myself. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's grueling, but I'm the one who wants to do it.
Yeah. Awesome. So, I love that idea that you've done a bit of exercise first thing in the morning, so you can tick that box even if you don't do anything else for that day. You've done something for your health. Morella's probably listening, but that sounds like something we've started doing as well, but not 65 press-ups and 65 squats.
That's not for everyone. That's just a number I've chosen. I've done. Yeah.
No, it's a number you've got to.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And I must, although you said putting that image out on social media was something nice, it was more. I think I want to play something back to you, because for me it was great. It was inspirational. So it might have been something nice, but it's more than that. And you may not realise the impact it has, where people are sitting there going, "Wow, Jung's able to do that," and tying it back to your personal mastery. And I completely get the point that people are there going, "Don't bother." And part of your personal mastery is being able to ignore that and move on anyway. There's also, potentially voices in your own head that says this is too hard. So personal mastery is probably beyond that, going more about ignore those voices. And that, to me, was the inspiration of seeing you do that flag. I was sitting there going, wow, putting that time and effort in, you can get there.
You use the word ignore, and I think at one level you could say it's ignore, but I would say actually more like acknowledge it. So if you acknowledge that, it's there, but that just reinforces what you need to do, or you want to do, which is even better, because if you just ignore it, you keep pushing it out of the way, it just requires a lot of effort. Whereas if you acknowledge it, that's part of you, that's that voice, that's part of you just saying it, and that's fine. I know it's there. I know you have the best, that ego part of us, or maybe saying it's trying to keep us safe, but that's fine. It's just doing its job. Acknowledge it and just do it. Yeah. So.
Great. Now, so we've talked about that, and that personal mastery then can be in a number of areas of your life. We've talked about exercise, and you're doing the flag. You've talked about business as well, but what are the other areas of life that are important for you as part of personal mastery?
Okay. There's a lot of some other areas that one I like doing martial arts, as I said, and there's a physical element to it, but there's also, I think, a bit of emotion, being aware of ourselves, that self-awareness and learning about ourselves. There's also an aspect of mental health, right? Being able to mentally learn something new and apply ourselves. But there's also another element, which is the spiritual side. And I don't mean to woo-woo things, but it's just like, I think even the aspect of knowing ourselves, seeking to improve ourselves, seeking to do something with purpose, that is all taps into that sense of our spiritual health, and the community, right? I mean, us being here is, I'm going to say, there's a spiritual experience there, right? Because we're connected, we have a sense of who we are, our self-identity, our understand of connection with other people and why we're here, right? All important. Can you see a certain theme? So I teach martial arts. I've been learning the Tai Chi as a martial art, and more recently Xingyi, both types of martial art. I also, involved in the church, so there's an aspect of sometimes when pastor's been away, I've had to step in and help lead a service, even giving sermons, etc.
And sometimes he steps away when it's a fairly major event.
Like Easter even, a few times. So those are things. And there is another important thing as well. I acknowledge my wife, and my kids. My wife, we've been married now 24 years, so 25th anniversary come up later this year. We're going to have a big trip to celebrate. So I'm really indebted to really grateful for my wife, Yan Ming, and as well my two kids. I have a son who's going to be doing a PhD soon in sciences, looking at bacteriophages, everything to do with antibacterials. And then my daughter's now, as we speak, revising for her A-levels before going to university. So a lot happening there. Yeah. So those are some aspects. I love to cook and I love to eat. So that as well.
Great stuff. Now, obviously, before we close, I do want to talk about the book. So I know that's been a bit of a labour of love for you. Talk us through the process of writing that book,
Well,
and then let's let everyone know when it's coming out.
Absolutely. Thank you. It was a pleasure to do this. It's been very interesting. Anyone has tried writing a book. I know there's a lady there who is a publisher who wrote however many books, an incredible number of books. There she is, a lady there. It's, you know what, this book I started writing, I wanted to write this for some time, and I started writing in July of last year for my first draft of a complete draft by December. Now, you know how I wrote it? With my fountain pen and my notebook. I wrote it in a book. There's a yellow book, there's some pictures of it I've got somewhere, where I actually handwrote it. Now, people will think, what do you mean you handwrote it? And you'll be pleased to know it's been typed up since then. Because, but it was a process. Because sometimes I just wanted to write it, and I love writing anyway. It's an art. It's very spontaneous and very personal. So I just wrote it using my favourite fountain pen with my notebook and just wrote it. And it's been a refined, so that in a way is also a reflection, I think, of personal mastery. It's not just, I want to just put, throw it onto a computer and everything. I just wanted it to be a refined piece of, it's an art. For me, it's an art. To write this out, it's a journey, it's a self-discovery as well. So there's an aspect of writing it, but I wanted to express it. So it's really about self-expression. But I wanted to express it so that it's not just some words, it is a lot more than that.
That's phenomenal. I didn't realise you'd written it with a fountain pen. No, I knew you'd written it out by hand, but not with a fountain pen. Now it feels like a work of art. Now, when's the book coming out?
Okay,
and what can people do to get an early sight?
Thank you, Ian. So the book will become available on the 27th of May. So come up really quick. I'm actually pinching myself right now as I speak to even share this. So it'll be out on Amazon. The thing is that as well, if you go on so we're offering this as a special bonus to you, our Global Man, Global Woman members, all here. If you sign up for the priority list here, what you'll get is that you'll get early access before anyone else to the book. You'll get some bonuses. And I'll give you personally something else to help you as well, help you from where you are. Because it's all great to talk about personal mastery, this amazing ideal, and the thing is, of course, no one really gets there. I'm still on that journey. But it's like something to help you evaluate where you are right now. What can you do from right now to help you make that little incremental step to more confidence maybe, better self-awareness, better self-knowledge. Identify what your sense of purpose is. All of that. So there's something that to help you and something I want to give back to you all. Thank you, Ian.
Great stuff. Thanks very much.